we are having a huge heat wave. I mean, obviously in Texas, we've been experiencing this. It's hurting hash rates and so on. It's also happening in China. And this is the worst heat wave in 60 years, and it's forcing factories to close. Why is this relevant? Well, it's relevant because this is going to impact manufacturing of silicon. And it was brought to my attention on Twitter by a viewer, so thank you. I forgot the actual name right now. I'll try to be better about that. But we've talked about this before, and it's HODL silicon, and we've talked about coming up with the big dump of GPUs onto the market from the crypto mining scene with the impending merge of course, Ethereum and proof of stake. There was this idea that we would start seeing, RTX 4000 series and RX, 7000 series hit the market. We'd have a huge oversupply of GPUs and the prices would come down. But then we had this weird video that came out from Jay's 2 cents where he was saying right now is the best time to buy GPUs because they will be cheaper than ever and not to expect GPUs to go down in price. Which is extremely odd because in the past, Jay's 2 cents has been pretty adamant about the impact of crypto mining on the GPU market and obviously causing the shortages and then a huge oversupply of GPUs. We're already starting to see GPUs being kind of prepared on Twitter, crypto Twitter, all over the place, being prepared to be sold off on the secondhand market. But we're also seeing these weird shortages happen. And I don't know if this is going to be a threat that's going to impact, the newer GPUs coming out, or if it's going to be a little bit further beyond that. You would assume with how close we are to the launch dates that they have a majority of them manufactured, but that's not necessarily true. Anyways, in their Sichuan province in China, they have ordered all factories to shut down for 6 days to ease the power shortage in the region as scorching heat wave sweeps across the country. Sichuan is a key manufacturing location for semiconductor and solar panel industries, and the power rationing will hit factories belonging to some of the world's biggest electronic companies, including Apple and supplier Foxconn and Intel. The province is also China's lithium mining hub, a key component of electric car batteries, and the shutdown may push up the cost of raw material, analysts say. China is facing its fiercest heat wave in 6 decades, with temperatures crossing 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, in dozens of cities. The extreme heat has caused a spike in demand for air conditioning in office homes, putting pressure on the power grid. The drought has also depleted river water levels, reducing the amount of electricity produced by hydropower plants. This is also important because Sichuan is where we saw a ton of essentially crypto mining for a while. And at first we thought that there was no crypto mining in China, but we kind of found out after analysts that there was still a lot of crypto mining going on just through VPNs, etc. And then they kind of did away with the VPNs in general and kind of unabashedly admitted that they're mining still over there. But with these kind of temperatures, it's important to note that your operating temperatures, your environment operating temperatures for Bitcoin miners, right, is going to be around the new ones, around 40 degrees Celsius. And this means that there's going to need to be an increase of course, some sort of external cooling capacity for these mining rigs. It brings up the curious question of, is this 6-day shutdown also going to impact the Bitcoin mining hash rate? And we'll keep an eye on it this week because for the next 6 days, we are going to be seeing some sort of shutdowns revolving around not just manufacturing, but potentially also the crypto mining space. And we'll just have to wait and see exactly how that pans out. But as we always do, we like to keep track every day of the Bitcoin hash rate. So we'll see if anything comes off of the network. That being said, speaking of Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin miner Stronghold Digital significantly restructures their debt. The Bitcoin miner said negotiations with its lenders were the reason for the delays in releasing its second quarter earnings report. Stronghold Digital Mining said Tuesday it had negotiated with its lenders to dramatically restructure its financing agreements to eliminate more lenders to dramatically restructure financing agreements to eliminate more than half of its total debt and associated interest and principal payments. In a notice, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission earlier on Tuesday explaining that the negotiations were the reason it had delayed reporting its second quarter results 3 times over the last few days. Stronghold said the debt restructuring and refinancing agreements were necessary for the company to be able to continue as a going concern for at least the next 12 months. The restructuring consists of returning roughly 26,200 miners to NYDIG to eliminate $67.4 million in equipment financing agreements, restructuring and expanding its financing agreements with Whitehawk Finance, and amending its May 2022 convertible notes and warrants. Collectively, the NYDIG, Whitehawk, and convertible notes and warrants restructurings reduced principal amounts outstanding by approximately $79 million, approximately 55% of total principal among outstanding as of June 30th, 2022. Reduced cash interest and principal payments through year end of 2023 by approximately $113 million, and improved Stronghold's forecasted cash flow by approximately $40 million through the year end of 2023 through a reduction in interest and principal payments and monetization of the power capacity formerly dedicated to miners, the company wrote in a press release. And at the end of the day, this isn't necessarily a bad move for the company, but it is indicative of, a downfall in the market. So that's kind of the way you want to look at it. But cash flow is king. This is something within the entrepreneurial space that a lot of people talk about a lot. And it's no different for these companies. So getting a cash flow positive nature with this $40 million through the year end of 2023 is going to be significant for them for sure. That doesn't mean, though, that it doesn't affect the market, right? And the market basically doesn't like this. So shares in Stronghold were down almost 11% for the day, and we're down another 6% after hours following the release of details of the restructuring. So they kind of hit that 11% downturn due to the drop in the price of Bitcoin, of course, due to greater macroeconomic conditions going on right now. And then because of their announcement, they're down another 6%. This is why we talk about investing in public companies or that are Bitcoin mining does introduce an additional point of failure for you. So you want to be extremely careful. Of course, not financial advice. It can add some advantages as well if the company is functioning good and had put themselves into a cash flow positive state before the bear market. But, doing it during a bear market does end up with these types of results. They're not the only one kind of suffering, though, in the Bitcoin mining scene. Anyways, Bitcoin miner Riot takes a $49 million goodwill impairment charge on acquisitions. The company also posted an impairment charge of $99.8 million on its Bitcoin holdings. Now, there's a picture here, and I would highly recommend against using zip ties. Please use Velcro. And then let's get into it. Riot Blockchain, one of the largest publicly traded Bitcoin miners, recorded $349.1 million in impairment charges to goodwill in the second quarter, tied to its acquisitions of miner Whinstone US and electrical equipment provider ESS Metron in 2021. It's in its second quarter earnings released on Monday after close. It also reported an impairment charge of $99.8 million on its Bitcoin holdings. Large impairment charges have been a common occurrence for miners as the prices of cryptocurrencies have plummeted this year. Most recently, peer Marathon Digital said it booked $127.6 million of impairment charges in the second quarter due to the decline in prices of digital currencies. Although challenging global market conditions in the second quarter, further impacted by a steep decline in the price of Bitcoin and resulting decline in market valuations for publicly traded Bitcoin miners, including Riot, necessitated non-cash impairment charges this quarter. These non-cash charges had no impact on our solid financial position and ample liquidity, both of which were further strengthened this quarter, said CEO Jason Lays in a statement. The miner was scheduled to report its earnings last week when most of its peers released their results. However, Riot said on August 9th that it delayed its quarterly earnings report because it needed more time to calculate how much the cryptocurrency root, the war in Ukraine, and other macroeconomic issues have reduced the value of its assets. Riot maintained its hash rate growth guidance of about 12.5 exahash per second by the first quarter of next year, which it first forecasted on August 3rd. Riot also reported a total first quarter revenue of $72.9 million, missing consensus estimate of $75.5 million according to FactSet data. It currently has 44,720,000 Bitcoin miners with a hash rate capacity of 4.4 exahash. Riot shares fell about 6% on Tuesday, and its stock has fallen about 60% this year. Once again, that 6% apparently is going to actually be the market right now, and then they didn't experience the other fall that Stronghold Digital did, which was the additional 11%. So if you're looking between, Riot and if you're looking between Riot and Stronghold Digital, Riot seems to be performing a little bit better, at least currently. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. You can check out the full episode here or more crypto content down here. Also, I'd like you to check out my locals page at sonofatech.locals.com, where you can become a member for free or choose to be a $5 a month supporter that unlocks additional content.